everyone, and welcome back to yet another round of Mom Q&A with Mamas Uncut, where you send in your anonymous questions about parenting, raising children, motherhood, and we give you the best advice possible. And like we said, your questions always remain anonymous. And I'm back with Lisa and Mindy. How are you guys?
Hi, everyone.
You guys ready to answer some more questions?
Yep.
All right, let's get to it. I'm trying to wean my toddler off of breastfeeding as they have started biting. I'm a stay-at-home mom and my husband wakes up at 6 a.m. for work. We co-sleep with our toddler in our bed. My husband and I got into an argument this morning because our child woke up last night and was wide awake. So I gave our child a sippy cup of water and put on a show at a 3 volume level, barely able to hear anything to distract him from wanting to breastfeed. This woke my husband up and he's mad that I turned on the TV and doesn't understand and said that I don't understand that he needs to get sleep for work. He thinks that if our child wakes up, I should take him into the living room until he's ready to come back to bed so I don't wake him up with my process of distracting our child from breastfeeding. He thinks that because I am a stay-at-home mom, I can choose to sleep whenever I want. I should be understanding and ensure that I don't disturb his sleep. I understand that a full-time job is hard and you need sleep to have a good work day, and I'm thankful to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also wish he would understand that I also don't get that sleep back when I'm awake with our child at night. Nap times only last for 1 hour, and it's easier for me to just stay awake during that time than to close my eyes for 5 seconds, only to wake back up even more exhausted when with a fully rested toddler running around ready to play. Plus, we all know the best time to get anything done is during nap time. I've read that while weaning, it is helpful for a dad to sleep with the baby so that they can't smell the milk and have a fit about wanting to breastfeed, but instead understand that dad can't provide milk and will receive comfort and go back to sleep. I haven't talked to him about this yet because he already gets so upset when he doesn't get a full 8 hours. And I feel like it's my job as a mom to deal with breastfeeding and take care of our child during the day when dad's at work and at night when dads are sleeping. He helps out a ton with everything I ask after work and on the weekends and is super supportive, but I just don't know if he'll react well to missing out on sleep. My question is, should dads help out with weaning toddlers, even if that means he might have a rough night's sleep when he has to work in the morning? Or should me and our toddler just sleep in the living room? What do you think?
Oh my goodness.
You go.
So first of all, yes, I am in a sleep deprived state, so I can speak to this. I'm not breastfeeding currently, but my daughter still does wake up at night. So I would say, first of all, don't make any decisions or have any conversations when you are sleep deprived. My husband and I have a rule that anything that happens overnight when we are dealing with children is immediately forgiven and forgotten in the morning, because when you're in that sleep deprived state, it is not time to be holding things over people's heads or remember what they said to you or get angry about how they reacted. You are in survival mode.
You're asleep for the most part. Yeah.
You're in survival mode. It's so exhausting. And when you wake up in the morning, you feel so terrible, like a freight train hit you. You feel terrible. So I think that the first thing that needs to, if I were this mom, I would probably address 2 things at once. Okay. If this is a toddler, so it's probably over age 1, I would say it might be time to get baby its own bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And move it. If you only have a 1-bedroom apartment, I totally understand. And co-sleeping works for a long time for a lot of people. But I think if it's starting to affect you as a parent and your spouse, your relationship together, it might be time to re-examine something else. If it's working, go for it. Do it as long as it works for you. But it doesn't seem like it's really working in this situation. So I would possibly set up a bed in a closet or a front room if you don't have the space for a second bedroom, and address it that way. I don't know if a binky's an option. That's something I would do. I fully support the weaning and the mom's done with it, but I think it's a bigger problem than that. I don't think it's just the fact that the baby's weaning, because it will be temporary. Yes. The baby, if you're consistent with what you're doing to get the baby back to sleep, your child will eventually sleep, even though it might be a while and it might be difficult along the way. But yeah, I think that there's probably the co-sleeping probably needs to be re-examined, because honestly, it's hard I feel for the husband. I feel for her too. They're both not getting sleep, and they're both struggling through this. And in their own ways, they're both frustrated about it. It sounds like he's supportive otherwise. It doesn't, she said that he helps her out and he's a good dad. And so I think that this is you're in the trenches with a toddler situation, and you just get through it the best way you can and adjust a little bit, maybe outside of what you thought would work well for your family.
Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Mindy. The combination of the co-sleeping and the breastfeeding is dynamite, right? I mean, that's like TNT ready to explode.
Yep.
Because the toddler doesn't know how to set boundaries. Nobody's sleeping. Like, I mean, so we co-slept with Bella for a while, like way too long. Now, I never actually breastfed. I pumped. So she always had breast milk in a bottle, but there wasn't like the boob issue that
the attachment. Yeah.
Right. And so, but ultimately when Bella turned about 2, we got her a toddler bed. So it's a small bed, a little earlier than 2. And, you know, she didn't like sleeping in her own room, so that was fine. But we put the toddler bed in our room. She had to sleep in there. She had a bottle before she went to bed, which is why her teeth are so bad. That was my bad parenting. Anyway, so, but that was the only way for everybody to get some sleep, right? And when you're sleep deprived, nobody's nice. Everyone's a mess. And nobody can appropriately take care of their kids. So like you've got to address the co-sleeping problem before you address any of it.
Yep.
And put the kid in a toddler bed.
Yep.
You can pick one up for $100. If that.
Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes a lot of parents do weird things to get their child to sleep on their own in their room. I know parents that sit in with their kid until they fall asleep. Yeah. I know parents that move their child from wherever they fall asleep into their bed and let them sleep there. But you just have to decide what you're going to do and just be consistent with it. Yeah.
And, you know, if your toddler is waking up in the middle of the night, chances are the bed's too crowded for all 3 of you, right? And my guess is if he falls asleep in your bed and you put him in their toddler bed, which is in your room or somewhere else, everyone sleeps the whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the worst bed sharer. I can't do it. I share a bed.
I never did with my kids either. It's not in my nature.
I start in one corner and I end up in the exact opposite corner. I'm all over the place. So I will not be co-sleeping. Yeah, my only other piece of advice would be just to, when you're not sleep deprived, just have a sit down and be like, look, if we try this one weaning technique, maybe we can just get it done and out of the way. Yes, for like 2 to 3 days, you're not going to get as much sleep as you normally do. But like, I need some help here, and just like really just let him know your side of things. You know, 3 out of 365 days to get not that much sleep is fine.
Yeah, like a long-term plan.
Yeah.
Do the weaning, the painful weaning piece during the weekend, right? So he can sleep in or like accommodate it that way. You know, doing it during a work night probably isn't the best idea, but like, you know, go cold turkey on the days he has off.
Yep.